Do you like guns? Well, I hope so. Welcome to the wonderful world of LARPing and lethal weapons. And welcome to this video. You probably found this video on the Clayco YouTube channel or on the Lethal Weapons website. You're either interested in buying tickets or you've already got your tickets and you want to know more. Let's talk about what Lethal Weapons is, what each competition is, and every little detail we can possibly think of to make sure you're prepared to enjoy your retro firearm at Lethal Weapons. For those of you that don't know what Lethal Weapons is, well, it's pretty simple. It's a competition. 2 competitions this year, and we'll get into that. The theme of this match is retro firearms. From the Cold War, Vietnam era, World War II era, and beyond, all the way back to the turn of the century with bolt-action milsurp rifles, this is a match that caters to that era of eclectic firearms. We travel back in time and really appreciate collectible, forgotten firearms at a time when every country was really making their own type of firearm and everything wasn't just a variation of an AR-15. Lethal Weapons is a match that will challenge you to bring one of your old dusty collectibles that's just been dying to go to the range. An old bolt-action gun, an SKS, your dad's Daewoo, or maybe an A2 carry handle M16. Something from the retro era. That's what we want you to bring to Lethal Weapons. And from competitions we've done in the past, it feels like we're taking a time machine back to the old Soldier of Fortune days where every gun had to be shot the way it came off the shelf. And at the time, they were buying guns off the shelf in the 80s. So you can imagine what types of firearms were showing up at those classic shooting competitions. We want to recreate that atmosphere, and I think we've done a good job of that. So get one of your collectible firearms or one of your old milsurp rifles, your Vietnam era, your Cold War era gun. Join one of our many divisions catered for that particular caliber and style, and come on out. Test your skill against some antiquated firearms. Now, we will have an approved gun list on our website, and feel free to reach out to our match directors, Dissident Arms. If you don't know for sure if your gun qualifies as a retro gun, you can reach out to us and we'll let you know if it does or if it doesn't. So if you do come to Lethal Weapons, we highly urge that you dress period correct or LARP. You certainly don't have to, but a lot of times we dedicate prizes for those that come best dressed or some of the LARPs that really blow the tops off everybody. Now, all of the firearms will be checked at registration with a silhouette test, basically meaning the silhouette of the gun cannot dramatically change from a factory configured firearm pre-1986. Again, we do have an approved firearm list on our website, and you can always send us pictures of what you have in advance, and we'll approve or disapprove your setup. This year at Lethal Weapons, you will have 2 full-blown 8-stage competitions to choose from. The first one is the subgun match. Let's talk a little bit about that. Now, this match will primarily consist of steel targets. However, you will encounter a lot of paper targets as well. Each of the stages will have their own unique theme to try to immerse you in the 80s, 90s, and what was really cool about this era of firearms. Now, this match will only have 2 divisions: subgun iron, subgun open. Subgun iron means no optic whatsoever on iron sights. Subgun open is literally any optic of any kind, so long as it does not change the overall silhouette of the firearm. That will allow you to shoot the open division of the subgun match. The idea here is we don't want to change or manipulate the theme of the match too much by letting people shoot open. It's literally just allowing you to put an optic on a gun. In the past, Lethal Weapons has been an iron sight match only. So again, if one wanted to run the open division in the subgun match, the overall silhouette of the gun cannot drastically change to mount an optic. But if one could mount an optic on this gun and still pass our silhouette test, again, you can send in emails for approval. It's totally okay to join the open division. And returning from last year, the infamous retro rifle match, now consisting of 6 different divisions. So again, all firearms are subject to a silhouette test upon check-in. Does this rifle fit the silhouette of its retro counterpart pre-1986? I would say this one does. The divisions in this match are battle rifle iron and battle rifle open. Light rifle iron, light rifle open, heavy rifle iron, heavy rifle open. The light division is any .223, for instance, 5.45, any caliber smaller than 30 cal fired out of a carbine. Heavy being 30 caliber intermediate, like 7.62 by 39. Battle rifle being any full cartridges, 308, 30-06, 7.62 by 54R, and so on. Iron divisions are, just as the title says, iron sights only, factory iron sights only. I want to really emphasize any AR-15 at this match must have a few key components because it is really the one rifle we have to keep an eye on the most for you gamers out there. Any AR-15 must have a fixed A-frame front sight post, must have a carry handle rear iron sight. It can be a bolt-on, but it must be installed the entire match. The handguards must be held on with a delta ring of some kind. That will qualify your AR-15 to shoot in the retro match. Regardless if you're shooting the battle rifle, heavy or light, if you want to run the open division of any of these, remember, has to still fit the silhouette test, and you can adapt an optic to that firearm. I have not changed the silhouette of this firearm, but I have indeed added an optic. This can be challenging for some firearms, we totally get it, but that's why we have the iron sight division. This gun would totally be approved to run the light open division. Dare I say, the coolest division at the rifle match is the battle rifle division, no matter if you're shooting iron sights or in the open division with an optic. This is any full rifled caliber firearm. FALs, G3s, bolt guns, Mosins, anything in a full rifle caliber. We even had guys rocking and rolling with M1 Garands last year shooting 30-06. What's very special about the battle rifle division, we totally understand ammo is extremely expensive for these firearms, but we're also practical. These are very powerful firearms, the rounds are heavy hitting, so these particular firearms in this division only require one shot on paper to neutralize, when every other division in both matches will require 2 shots or more on paper to neutralize. So bring out those battle rifles and shoot less ammo than everyone else and still get through the match and just look cooler. We read your emails from Lethal Weapons 1, we hear you. We know that you guys wanted more magazine capacity. Last year, we capped everything at 30 rounds. This year, regardless of caliber, regardless of match or division, 0 magazine restrictions of any kind. Drums, stendos, whatever you want, even battle rifle, 0 magazine restrictions this year. Now, a very important rule of Lethal Weapons are the muzzle devices. The muzzle device that came with your firearm needs to stay on your firearm. Now, AKs in general came with a lot of muzzle brakes or compensators from factory. This would totally be allowed. AK-74s all have factory brakes. Came that way, can stay that way. No firearm in any division can run aftermarket brakes. Suppressor mounts are okay as long as there's not a brake. If they are a brake and it's a suppressor mount, run your suppressor. Suppressors are totally allowed at this match. No aftermarket brakes are allowed to be ran to tame recoil in any division whatsoever. If it came that way, that's all right. Now, how you decide to shoot one of these 2 matches is totally up to you, because the way that we are selling tickets is kind of interesting. We have Friday passes available for the subgun and the rifle match. Now, if you buy a Friday pass, that means you're going to shoot all 8 stages in one day for whichever match that you bought that ticket for. We also have the weekend pass for either competition. The weekend pass allows you to split it. You'll shoot 4 stages on Saturday, get to chill, get to rest, go to the campsite, hang out, and then shoot the other 4 stages on Sunday. So what does that mean? Now, technically, if you really wanted to, you can shoot the subgun match and the rifle match in one weekend. Maybe you can shoot the subgun match all 8 stages on Friday with a Friday pass. Saturday and Sunday, shoot the rifle at the rifle match on AM, PM, 4-on-4 scheduling. If you want 3 days of nonstop shooting, it's totally okay. You could buy both tickets. This is the biggest change going into Lethal Weapons this year. We wanted to give the people that are interested in competitive shooting more opportunities to get match tickets. We've read your emails, we understand the complaints. Typically our match tickets sell out rather quickly. And we've typically at most only had about 350 match tickets available for any competition that we've done. This year we will have over 600 tickets between the subgun match and the rifle match. We have some RV spots available. By the time you're seeing this video, those are probably gone. And we also have camping available for just about everyone, and it's certainly substantially cheaper than staying at a hotel for a couple of nights. And we will have facilities on site so you're not roughing it. And of course, we will have lots of food to buy on site. Retro firearms are undeniably cool. And for some of our collectible firearms, they may come out of the safe once a year, maybe once every few years. Let Lethal Weapons be that one time a year where you dust off that old gun that your grandpa gave you, or that highly valuable collectible that you never shoot, and come actually shoot it the way it was meant to be shot, in a dynamic, immersive, competitive scene with hundreds of people just like you in the same place at the same time for 3 days, all dressing the part and enjoying the most eclectic era of firearms that the world has ever seen and probably will ever see again at Lethal Weapons Texas in 2024.